I'm a producer, I'm a producer, I'm a producer, whisperer all my life.
Yes. Welcome to the Producer Whisperer Podcast, Episode 2. My name is Mike Trampe, also known as the Producer Whisperer. I'm here on this Monday. What is it? I had to look at the calendar. May 4th, 2026. May the 4th be with you. I hope everybody is well. I want to touch on a topic. We're going to get right into it this week, okay? Social media is filled with all sorts of drama, issues, and one of the biggest things I see, miseducation in the music industry, all right? So in this episode, if you're listening on the podcast channels, Spotify, Apple, and other places like that, and it's audio only, you're not going to be able to see a lot of this. So I would definitely tell you to head over to YouTube and check out the full video so you can actually see some of the stuff that I'm sharing. But yeah, so I saw this issue pop up last week on my timeline on X. I call it Twitter, but X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And it was from a producer. It was a woman producer. And I believe her name is Sovren, Sovren, as you know, or maybe you don't. I'm very bad with names. So if I ever say anybody's name wrong, I apologize. But I believe it's Sovren. I know it's spelled Sovren. And shout out to you. You seem like you're a dope person. The beats I heard, fire. So shout out to you. This is for educational purposes only, okay? I want to say that. None of my content is ever aimed at anybody unless you're doing very foul business that I've witnessed and experienced. That's a different story. But all this stuff is, I'm going to say it up front, there is some speculation involved, but it also is 20 years of music industry experience speculation and also based on evidence. So I'm only going off of what I can see. At the end of the day, I've never seen a fully executed agreement, so I cannot say for sure what was involved in this deal. So anyway, let's bring up the tweet. Is that what we call it now? If it's not Twitter, is it still a tweet? I don't know. Someone tell me in the comments. All right, let's share my screen here. All right. So this is the post. It was on, let's move this out of the way. I think it was May 3rd. May 2nd. I lied. 9:41 p.m. So was never paid any royalties. Was crazy as I could ate for a couple more nights with it. But that's the industry. That's why I haven't had the willpower to continue on. What I'm owed, I don't never get. I didn't get a dime in royalties for this song. Biggest posse cut this era. Sorry, what song is she talking about? So as of April 29th, that's probably when she did the search. The song Hell on Earth Part 2 by Westside Gunn featuring Benny the Butcher and Conway the Machine has approximately 16,856,000. First of all, let's actually see what this has stream wise, right? So if we go to Luminate and log in, all right, I should already be logged in. Let's move this over, right? Let's go to Luminate. If you don't know what Luminate is, powers the North American music industry, so America, Canada. As you can see, you could pick. They kind of break it down by those three: worldwide, Canada, USA. So we're going to pick that, right? And then we're going to go to Hell on Earth Part 2. All right, here it is right here. So it came out in 2021. So don't look at this. This is the streams in the last week. All right, worldwide. Let's change this to, what was it? Let's just do May 2021 because it came out in September. So we'll be ahead, all right? All right. So the streams she put up there weren't even right. According to Luminate, which a lot of people in the music industry think is good and accurate, says 25.8 million. All right. And you can get into ad supported on demand. You can look at the song sales, which is just direct sales. You can kind of see it spiked early on. You can kind of see everything it's done. Okay. And Luminate's not free. If anyone's probably looking at this, like, wow, I need to sign up for this. It's not cheap either. So just giving you a heads up. But these are the tools that are out there. So as you can see, the majority of it's in the U.S. So you got 17 million streams in the U.S. It tells me right off the bat that she would have good money at the MLC, like right off the bat. And let me explain this. The MLC collects mechanical royalties in America only. So all this other, which it doesn't tell you, because like I said, there's a North American company, so that you can see they don't break down where it's coming from. So it's kind of tough, but you need to get with a publisher, a good publishing admin, okay, to collect the rest of this, because you need to go to all the mechanical societies around the world, as well as Canada. So, I mean, like, you're leaving all this off. So you don't want to just go to your PRO in the MLC. You need to go to your PRO to get your writer's IPI number. That's minimally what you need. But once you have that, if you go directly to the MLC to get your money, which you can do, you have to go place by place or work with some type of reciprocal third-party deals, which is not my best suggestion, to track down all your money. Just work with a publisher. They'll collect it all for you. But you can't go to a publisher and go to the MLC. I just made a video about this on Instagram the other day. All right. But as you can see, the streams that you put, not even accurate, which she won't have access to this, so it's understandable. Okay. Social media is wrong in this case, or search, or the AI search, or whatever she did here, right? But anyway, that's not even the point, right? She's basically implying that she was on this song. It has this many streams, which she's almost about 10 million off, and she was never paid a dime. So why? Why did this happen? Here's my first piece of feedback. And again, this is nothing against you, Sovereign, but my first move is never to go to social media and complain. Now, again, I don't see what's going on in the back end. Are there tons of emails not answered? Are there, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. But my suggestion to all artists and creators, put your evidence together. I actually created an app where you put all your evidence in and spits you out a report. You need to organize everything and know what you have and don't have, and then find out, should I go get an entertainment attorney? And most times you probably should, but it's about the right one who can handle a case like this. And this is stuff we handle all the time. Okay. So, says she's never got paid. Westside responds. She responds back. And it just like keeps going on and on and on. But like, what I haven't seen is an actual solution or the actual full story. So did some digging yesterday on Sunday. And found out a couple things. And I had this video planned, and a few other people got to this before I could. So shout out to them. But I had this plan to go through her stuff, because there's a couple tweets I'm trying to find out. As you see, she's been tweeting a lot. But there was a tweet too about publishing. She's like, I have that in order. I'm just trying to find it. If you're watching on the video, you can see that I'm scrolling down her timeline. She also said, Gunn, I never mentioned you. I mentioned royalty payments, which is a label issue that I've been confronting for years. That's not 100% true. The royalty issue can be publisher too, or publishing, not always the label. Listen, I have my gripes with labels and how some of our creators are treated, but you know, facts are facts, right? So you got to look at the facts. But she does at some point in here say that her publishing is sorted. Okay. I also saw in one of Gunn's replies that he mentions a sample, and I saw her mention a sample too. So I'll say that for the end, but that makes this even more interesting. So anyway, so I pulled up the song, right? You can see I pulled it up. Here's Luminate. But then I went to PRS. All right. This is a login that we have as a publisher. Not everyone can see all this, but here is I'll show everybody. This is not a public repertoire like your BMI, Songview, and stuff like that, MLC. But you can see this was registered on July 25th, 2022. You can see that the writers have their splits. This, if you look at the creator view, it's really the writer share. If you look at the publisher's view, it's the publisher share. That's how it's split. And what you'll notice is a chain of title. So anytime you see a letter associated with a writer, it correlates with the split at the bottom here. Okay. So Demon or Demond Price, excuse me. Again, I'm horrible with names. A is associated with Reservoir. Okay. And then Alvin Lamar Worthy, who I believe is Westside Gunn. B has his own publishing entity, but is with Sony, which I know. I know the A&R who signed him. Good people. All right. Then you got Sovereign. And then you got this person. So what this tells me is these two people are in deals and collecting their publishing worldwide. This person's going direct to ASCAP most likely, or their information just wasn't delivered properly. Or three, She doesn't even have anything, right? Like, this literally just says Sovren. There's no way that's her name, right? She has to have a last name. Maybe this is not even a real name, but no society. Not even an IPI number. So, okay. So you go a step further. You go to ASCAP. And SongView will go through ASCAP and BMI, as you can see. It tells you right here. You can go to BMI SongView directly. It's really the same thing. Same thing. So again, this is telling me, okay, that these people most likely are associated or are associated, and she is not. Take it a step further. Go to the MLC. All right. This is all public. Hell on Earth part. Gotta get it perfect. All right, there it is. Okay, this looks like a beat. It looks like it's just this one, which there's only 36.67. So if you go back to PRS, right? Is that what's collected? That's what's left. It's pretty accurate. So again, who is the only person missing an IPI number? Sovren, which is, I guarantee, not her full name. But you'll see Reservoir, you'll see Sony with his publishing entity underneath. Then you'll see the match recordings, which is always important on the MLC. Sometimes they are matched, so they don't show, so don't get too alarmed. There's usually a little bit of a delay from what I've noticed. So anyway, okay. So who is Sovren? That's the even to look into this more, you have to get her full name. All right. So I was able to track it down. I have ways, but I'm not going to disclose them here. Nothing illegal, obviously. It's public information. So I was able to track it down, right? And this is what I found. So if I actually go back here, all right, if I go back here, and let's change it to search members, and we're going to go Sovren Renee. And if you pull this up, you start to see some shells, but there's no IPIs or anything associated. So, okay. If I can do this here, can I do this at the MLC? Go to writer. And you could probably actually just, you don't even have to do it backwards. You should be able to just search it the front way. Okay. Renee Sovren. Okay, this looks like the same person, right? She produced for Rome Streets. I would imagine if she's working with the Griselda people. Go Raw. Okay, this is the artist who's with Sony as well, and this is registered. It's matched. But again, there is no IPI for Renee Sovren. All these works are like this. I already looked earlier. They're all like this. And again, if you're not watching, you're only listening to the audio, please watch the video so you can see some of this stuff. But there's no IPI. So what this tells me, unless she has a different name that is not her full name, this is like, let's just say this is wrong. But my guess is since she's on multiple, 3 of them with this name, it's her. But unless she has a different name, I don't think she's signed up with a PRO. Or if she is, nobody knows her IPI. But here's the thing. When you search works, okay, inside of PRS, it will give you the accounts, whether they're a PRS member or not. And there's nothing. There's nothing on here. All right. So what this tells me is, let's unshare for a minute. Let's get back here. So what this tells me is she has not only not registered the publishing for this song, she might not even have a PRO, writer IPI number. And that's a major problem. Like, you got to get that first to even start. Royalties are not given to you on the publishing side. You are responsible to register them. It's as simple as that. So in this case, I don't know what percentage she actually has because I've never seen the fully executed agreement. So my question to you, Sovren, is do you have a fully executed agreement? If so, what does it say? If it clearly outlines your publishing splits, you need to register the records. That's it. And you'll start getting paid. So that is on you, but it also comes down to what is in the agreement. Now, I mentioned earlier, there was a sample involved. When I found out, there's actually 3, apparently. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Sovren. Who cleared the sample? That should all be in the fully executed agreement because the song's registered. People are collecting on it. So was the sample cleared? I don't know. But that's not the only way she would get paid. Again, fully executed agreement should include a fee. So was she paid up front money? I don't know. Usually you get some master points. Was she given any? And if so, did they recoup and start paying out? I don't know. But with that process, you have to follow up with the label, fill out vendor packets, get set up in their system. There's a whole lot of stuff you got to do. But it's necessary. Is it right? Yeah, we could argue that all day. But it's necessary. And then obviously the publishing split. And with samples, you usually wait to register publishing until you clear the sample and know what the sample holders are taking. So I can get the frustration from her side, especially if you don't have someone in your corner pushing you in the right direction. But at the same time, there's a lot of information out there and a lot of great people like myself that are helping creators every day. And we're teaching creators every day. It's not just about, oh, pay us and we'll help you. Like, that's not what my goal is personally. It's to teach and have people less reliant. At the end of the day, what I do is still a service, collecting publishing. What we do as a publisher is still a service that's needed. You get what I'm saying? So giving you the information on how to do it properly is what we actually want. We're not gatekeeping information. So I wish she probably could have had somebody in her corner. Maybe she did. Again, I'm speculating on a lot of this. I'm only going off of what I saw and what I just shared with you. But she doesn't have an IPI number on that name. She's not collecting publishing. No idea if she got paid a fee. I think I might have saw something in one of these tweets. There's just so many of them. And I just feel like all it's doing is causing more, and if you're watching this, you can see me, I'm putting my fist together, but more friction with no long-term solution. I see some people trying to help and teach and educate. Shout out to them. But we really need to address these types of issues. We have people who are creating art, sampling or not, but then are clueless on how the business side works. And then it's just a revolving cycle. And I say that with all due respect. I'm not saying that as like a jab. Like, it's fine. I work with creators every day who don't understand the business. I'm not really sure where this is going to head, but I hope they talk, because if they can make great songs together, they should continue doing that. I think transparency and communication are key to any relationship. I don't know if you weren't getting responses directly and that's why you want the social media Sovren, but I always tell people just go to the source directly and talk to them. People call me out too. Listen, I'm not perfect. A lot of times I didn't even do anything wrong, but I'm out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm available to be called out. And obviously, if you're someone like Westside Gunn and you're working with a lot of creators, you're bound to get called out for something, even if you did nothing wrong. And I'm not saying he did or didn't here. That's not even what I'm looking at. I don't really care about all that. It's not my business. I'm more interested in the song and how the registrations on the publishing side work. But yeah, let's see where this goes. I think it's an interesting topic. Creators, learn the business, even minimally if you can. Ask questions. Hire an attorney. I know sometimes creators don't have money to hire an attorney. Here at BStars Publishing, all of our members have access to the CRA, which is the Creator Rights Agency, and there's no out-of-pocket cost. So we'll go work 6 months and not get paid until you get paid. And we're able to do that because we have amazing attorneys, relationships with everybody, and people respect what we do. We get stuff done. So be good out there, creators. I appreciate you all. Until the next episode, I'll talk to you. Mike Trampe, producer whisperer.
I'm a producer, I'm a producer, I'm a producer, whisperer.